Something is wrong with our relationships. Hello there, my name is Dr. Paul Stoller, and the video you are about to watch is from Sex, Lies, and Trauma, an article I wrote for a peer-reviewed journal. This is part 9. This is very nuanced and completely underappreciated. When two lovers get together, they will form a matrix, and in the context of that matrix, they have a certain identity that didn't exist before that union. There is no free lunch when you have sex with another human being. You get energetically exposed to their emotional body, including their abuse and trauma. Consider it an energetic STD. So, to think that this doesn't affect the partners on some level is to be in denial. Sexual union is meant to be sacred, but there is no sacredness in today's hookup culture. While some might consider an energetic STD to be a metaphor, I can assure you we are surrounded by parasites, both the third dimension kind, be they worms or microscopic protozoas, as well as trans-dimensional parasites, and they feed off of us if we supply them with the energy they seek. They particularly like those who have given their willpower away to something outside themselves, such as in the case of a drug addict. I am not saying all drug addicts are being overshadowed and drained of their life force, nor everyone experiencing depression or hopelessness, but many are. Doesn't seem like an even playing field to me, and yet here we are. Alas, love is blind, for we think this other person is who we think they are. Projection, not who they actually are. And on top of that, who they are in love is not who they truly are. So in marriage, men give up their autonomy to be with the best friend they can have sex with. It is a Faustian bargain, because in all likelihood that is not what they will get. A good portion of men who have been through marriage have gained the wisdom that comes with that traumatic failure. It feels like the mother of all failures when a relationship ends in divorce, driving many to self-medicate. Still, not everyone gains wisdom, as some men will get married again and again. The sad truth is, men lose freedom when they get married, and with that loss of freedom comes a loss of part of their identity as well. It takes away some of their joie de vivre because so much of a man's energy is now dedicated to someone else, which is often just fine if that man is valued and respected. But there's the rub, because often he won't be valued or respected any more than a stick of furniture, statistically speaking. Well, if you treat someone like they are disposable, don't be surprised if they dispose of you first. The grief that comes with the breakup of a long-term relationship is intense, and can even cause PTSD. And yes, that grief could be modulated with oxytocin, but after you have done this breakup thing once or twice, that's really more than enough. When we are young, we think if we bring someone into our lives, it will enhance our sense of fulfillment and happiness, external validation. We think there will be mutual respect, emotional support, empathy, communication, and trust. Having said that, if one is not already happy, and we enter into a relationship thinking this other human will be the gateway to our happiness, then that is one of life's most horrendous mistakes. Bottom line is, you can't make someone else happy. That is on them. Warning: do not sleep with someone until you have explicitly discussed where the connection is going. Now, the more you know yourself, the less you will feel the need to bring in another person into your experience. Yes, there are people out there who can add to our experience instead of detracting from it. But if we are not already at a place where we are maxing out on happiness and fulfillment by ourselves, we certainly won't be getting that from someone else. When we don't know ourselves, we are vulnerable to the manipulation of others, and life decisions get made for us that are usually not in our best interest. Most of us are lazy. It is a primate thing. No blame. And so we just go along to get along. But what if the algorithm we are going along with was created by a death cult? The power structure that has been running roughshod for the last few decades is a death cult. Maybe it is time to wake the heck up. Nothing nefarious, but in Western culture, we teach boys and men that having a romantic relationship is the pinnacle of human experience. Being in a relationship is a privilege and a discipline, but it is not the pinnacle of human experience, as there are many other life options. Nevertheless, our culture pushes this on men when many don't belong in or would even benefit from a romantic relationship. When a man has low self-esteem, getting into a relationship is like handing him a dangerous power tool without training. Men have low self-esteem because they haven't mapped out a vision for their life. They don't know who they are. If you don't know who you are, you just follow along with societal algorithms. Most men have this need to be needed. But if they let themselves get drawn into relationships by this need, it will only end in pathos. Getting run by archetypes and algorithms is akin to being blindfolded in the backseat of a car with only an algorithm driving. A crash is inevitable. Many, not just men, fear dying alone. Spoiler alert. We all die alone no matter how many people are standing by our side as we transition. So I suggest we feel very comfortable with ourselves being alone, so we don't have to fear dying alone. Many of us have had parents with unhealthy relationships, and we have to assume that because of that, our understanding of what a healthy relationship is may be broken, as we actually have no idea what a healthy relationship should feel like, look like, or be like. This requires a lot of inner work, reflection, and processing to reprogram ourselves before we enter into a relationship, if there is to be any opportunity for it to succeed. Our unlovely society teaches that fame and fortune is a benchmark of success, and having more stuff makes you happy. For society teaches happiness is something that exists outside of you, and if you want it, you must go out and get it. This is part of society's algorithm, and if you do not conform, you are a failure, and as a failure, you will be marginalized. Yet these are all lies to keep us being sheeple instead of people. No matter how much you love someone, or how much history you have with them, you cannot let their misery dictate your mindset. It is not your responsibility to fix them, as if you could, or pull them out of the hole they have chosen to remain in. You can offer support and encouragement, but you have to be able to walk away. Some choose to explore self through mental illness, and we have to respect and honor their decision, but that doesn't mean you hang around and enable them either. That is not an act of love. The physical and psychological cost of letting someone else's misery into our life, either because we don't want to be alone or they don't, has the most unpleasant consequences. Where women need to protect their innocence, men need to protect their mindset and their peace. All that oxytocin and dopamine make young lovers feel like their love is invincible. But it is a self-induced delusion we create so we can feel the emotions associated with it. These emotions are exhilarating and wonderful, and are further reinforced by our media, our culture, that this is the pinnacle of experience. Alas, it is not. Falling in love is not some magical happenstance. Romantic love is as transactional as it is intoxicating, and while one can be intoxicated for a long time, the inevitable hangover awaits. Romantic love isn't really love at all. It is just a very strong attraction. True love, which is not transactional, is more like how we feel about our children, that we would do anything for them to make their lives fulfilling without thought of any compensation or reciprocity. Romantic love is about the perception that someone is able to fill an unconscious need we have. They resonate with our own unconscious issues of lack, and we are drawn to them. That attraction is real, but the force behind it is our own unconscious, responding to its own needs in order to grow. If the qualities that are admired in a partner are not recognized as something they could nurture in themselves, then that relationship is about an unconscious need, but it is not about love. What if those needs change, or the idealized partner turns out to be less stellar than previously thought? The illusion of love crumbles. Often we are deeply attracted to someone who is working with an archetype that reflects back to us our own internal design. Romantic love can also be about having someone awaken a powerful subconscious image we have carried with us for a long, and it stirs powerful emotions. But we aren't in love with them, but rather the symbol they represent to our inner world. We are not seeing who that person really is, but rather what we have projected onto them. It is an illusion that will break down under the weight of reality. It is an archetypical projection, playing itself out and reflecting back to us what we need to see in ourselves in order to evolve. Romantic love is actually not very romantic, as it is not about love at all, but about the self trying to evolve. In that regard, the word love is overused and abused. My recommendation is not to use the L word, love, unless you truly, really understand what you are saying. It certainly doesn't mean anything if it is used to keep someone blind and manipulate them. Telling someone else you love them should be reserved for very special moments, when you sincerely know what love is and you mean it. This is the end of Part 9.